Harris Plumbing and Heating was first established in 1918 by my great-grandfather, Abraham Harris. The business was established directly after World War I and was primarily focused on new construction building. As World War II approached, the company had no choice but to wind down on a temporary basis. At this time, Abraham's sons decided to serve the country. Shortly after World War II ended, the business essentially picked up right where it left off. At this time, Paul, my grandfather, decided to get more serious about the business and the company and decided to dedicate himself full-time. Where my great-grandfather, Abraham, was primarily focused on new construction business, my grandfather, Paul, he also decided to open another sector of the company that would focus on subsurface water main and sewer installations. This means any type of plumbing work below the surface, from the building all the way out to the street. My grandfather ran both the subsurface and internal plumbing businesses successfully until 1975, when he actually asked my other grandfather if my father, Stephen Kogel, can get involved in the business. They told the story to me like it was yesterday, when my grandfather and Paul Harris went on a walk together and essentially asked for his blessing. Is it okay with you if Stephen came and worked for the business? And in 1975, my father dove in headfirst. To this day, 40 plus years later, at the time, my father really expanded Harris Water Main and Sewer Contractors. He put in the required amount of time to start applying for his master plumber's license. He got his journeyman card, which is required. He took both the written and practical tests and successfully passed both of them to finally get his license. Like my father, I was involved in the subsurface water main and sewer sector of the company. The only difference is I actually grew up in the company. I remember as a young kid over the summer spending times at the shop, going out into the field, working with the guys, really just getting my feet wet. And I really took a genuine interest to the company since probably 13 or 14 years old is the earliest I can remember. Shortly after college, I went straight into the company. Like my father, I put in the required time to get my journeyman's card. I studied practical, written tests, successfully passed both of those. And I am currently the 4th generation licensed master plumber. A great piece of history to know about my company is that I am actually the 4th generation licensed master plumber. So my great-grandfather, licensed master plumber. My grandfather, Paul, licensed master plumber. My father, Stephen, licensed master plumber. And I'm proud to say that I was able to successfully obtain my license as well. It's funny because I'm always getting phone calls and emails from business colleagues, and friends and families, just past your building or just past your trucks on the road. The current building where we operate out of is the same building that my grandfather Paul purchased 70 plus years ago. We're still successfully operating out of the same shop. Over time, we've had to expand on the building a little bit, but it's actually the same exact location, which is the 2nd location that Harris has operated out of. The first office that was purchased in 1918 was in East Flatbush, and over time, they had to relocate to a more of an industrial area, which would accommodate the fleet of trucks. It's centralized in between Brooklyn and Queens, right near the parkways and the bridges to get to Manhattan. So it's easy for us to mobilize to any specified area where we might be performing a job on that current day. Harris Water Main and Sewer Contractors is everything to both me and my family. I grew up, everything was Harris. My grandparents' last name, Harris. My mother's maiden name, Harris. My middle name, Harris. And my wife and I actually decided to give our son the middle name Harris as well. I would give the same options to both of my kids that were given to me. I was never forced to come to the company. My whole life, my parents said, it's completely your option. You want to be a school teacher, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a plumber, whatever is going to make you happy is what we want you to do. I would say the same thing to both my son and my daughter. My wife was involved in the business. My mother was involved in the business. I'd be more than happy. And in my perfect world, if I had a choice, I would say, please come work for the business. But at the end of the day, it's really what's going to make them happy. The truth of the matter is, I absolutely love what I do. 99% of the time, I'm excited to wake up and go to work. I love the environment within the company. We have so many wonderful people that work for the company, people that have been there for 10, 15, 20, even 30 plus years that still are actively working for the company. And I'm really excited to see what the future holds for Harris Water Main and Sewer Contractors.